Hello and welcome to the final episode of Bleeding Abyss, because today we are going to finish up the game, because the only thing left to do is the final boss and maybe some extras, and then it will be done. So the thing I want to do now first is prepare myself for the next battle. So I want to have all my slots equipped with necklaces. So what is it, what I want? I want a flash necklace. And I want more special damage. Maybe this one as well. Yeah, let's do this one. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to crush this stone. Apparently I can't do that. That's alright. Let's see. And then we do this. So we have 2 slots left. And I think what I'll do is just run around a bit. And collect some stones. Because I need twin-eyed redstones and some pebbles. So I will do that now, and then I will cut to the point where I have the stones. So we are back, and what I'm going to do is prepare a little bit. So I'm going to buy a bunch of these. And eat them. And the maximum amount you can have is 10, I believe. But I think 6 is enough. So I'm going to grab everything nicely. And I will save. So I don't have to do that again. And now we can fight the final boss. And I think I'm going to go with Sting Shot. That should be it. I don't remember this boss one bit, only that it's very chaotic. If only I could get a hit in. Yes, this is a boss rush. Mainly due to time constraints. But my super sting shot should take care of a lot of things. And I have a necklace that gives me some health back. And thanks doing the quest with the funny guy, I've got double defense. So I'm in a relatively good position. Relatively, because my speed is very low. So I have to be conservative with my special attacks. Took too long. Because I really want to get my normal attack up before I beat this guy for the next one. But I think that's not really going to happen. Yeah. Still have 16 health? Maybe 15. This one's going to be scary. The positive thing is that this one is not going to shrink in size. So take it nice and slow. I think I can finish it off quickly if I use my special. Which might be the best thing to do. But the next phase is also going to be scary. So I don't really know, it's just play well, I suppose. That's the whole gist of it. Okay. Going well. Well, that's just rude. I want like a good position to stand in. But I think I've managed to find a very good spot. The only thing I need to take care about now is my jumps. Just be careful about the amount of jumps I have. Because this is very stressful. But I have 20 health, so... It's very big. This is Helen, by the way. Say hi to Helen. Should have used my... Yeah. I know I can easily win with using the special attacks, but I wanted to show off the attacks and how they got stronger over time. Because I want to record all of this. You know, so I can look back to it. Wow, I did it. I beat the game. It's a good thing I did, because otherwise I couldn't release it. So yeah, this is Bleeding Abyss. There's a funny thing in the credits where the length of the credits is tied to the resolution. So you can't watch the whole credits if your resolution is lower than 1920 by 1080. This is one of those funny credits where my name pops up infinitely. And I have written a song for the credits, so I have to play it fully. So yeah, that's the benefit of being a indie game developer. Jokes aside, I really did have a lot of fun making this and playing this as well. It's just that in the end, due to paperwork and all that kind of stuff, I had to change the ending battle and had to work my ass off to an unhealthy degree that made it so that I burned out, and the final boss has been changed to a boss rush. But in the end, I think it's a good choice, because when you load up the save file, now you can fight all the 6 big bosses, which are, you know, the best part of the game, I would say, because the other bosses, the twin-eyed and the triple-eyed, you have already beaten them so many times that it's just not really worth it fighting them again. I think the biggest issue with this game is that it's repetitive, and the best experience for this game is hard mode, but I've seen a lot of people play this game and they couldn't get past the tutorial. So yeah, and these are stats, but these are also stats from previous playthroughs, because there was one that said permadeath too, and I've not permadied in this let's play, which is really good. Would be quite a bummer. So yeah, that was the game. Now we are going to look at the rest of the game, what it has to offer. So this is the beginner guide. This is the thing you skip at the beginning without reading. Let's see what we have here. So if the resolution is bigger or smaller, then the end credits will bug out and, you know, end quickly or longer later. So that's a funny thing. Let's see. I haven't really looked into this. Rebind keyboard. Rebind controller. Rebinding the controls was the hardest part of making this game. That's why this menu is so ugly. I barely got it to work, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, if you want, you can disable all the environmental props, so all these stones that are in the front and the back. You can remove them all. You can strip this game very bare. And the options that this game has are quite a lot for a first game, I would say. Because when making this, I was thinking to myself, isn't it too flashy, you know, for seizure warnings and such. So I thought of that a little bit. For example, the extra player visibility, what it does, it gives a glow, a halo to the player, so it's always on the so you can always see him. Because when I made trailers, nobody knew what was going on. That was a bit disappointing, but when you play the game yourself, you most likely focus on your character and the action between them, the enemies and such. So knowing where you are isn't as big as an issue as you might think from just looking at the game. I'm going to lower the volume a little bit if you don't mind, since I'm going to talk a lot. Hitbox view is very nice to see. It really shows, yeah, the hitboxes of things. I might pop a screenshot of that up, or maybe I will do that in some gameplay. But the thing I need to do is now to kind of hack the save file so we can show off things. We played on hard mode. I did not play on hardcore mode because if you die it's permanent, so that's only for the daredevils. And thanks to this, resting is disabled, so you can't get the double defense in the end. You can't do the extra quest, and I wanted to show that off. This is where most players start off as, and this is the easy mode, which normally a lot of people should play. I was even trying to add double the income amount when you play on easy, but I think that throws things a little bit of balance out of balance. These are the cheat codes. You unlock all of them when you beat the game. Only the first one is unlocked when you start a new game for the people who want to complete it, but don't have the skill to. So I will turn these on. And we are going to make this very hectic. Yeah, let's do big bosses. We can do this as well. Basketballs and cows, of course. Let's do tiny bosses. And we do activate both of these, so we get both of them. Yeah, yes, that's a word. That's a word. Let's see, extras. So that's the stats we've seen from the game, from the credits. So that's cool. Achievements, only 10 of them. They are really easy. I wanted to put these in to measure how far players would get and get general feedback about the game. But I noticed that I would say 90% of the players would not reach the Gravedigger achievement, which is the end of the tutorial. So here's concept art. Let's go to the 2D concept art because it's very bad, because I can't draw yet. But these are the first scribbles about the game, the first idea that popped into my head, and you can immediately see some of the ideas, especially on the left side. You can see the red one-eyed, double-eyed and triple-eyed, and you can see how the designs started off and how they came to be in the game, really. And these are all the gameplay brainstorming things, because I think concept art isn't just pretty pictures, and the ideas behind them, so how they going to attack and such things. And I had a lot of fun making these because it took a lot of time balancing everything gameplay wise. But I think I already have that set that a lot of times, so you can read through these. But I'm not going into much detail about this, because it's pretty much explains what is going on in the game, and maybe some things that aren't going into the game, but you know what I mean. The blue enemies were very difficult to make because I didn't know how to make lasers, and the hitboxes were always misaligned or mirrored or twisted in some way, shape or form. So blue enemies, very difficult to make. Most likely the most difficult ones. So and you can see by this concept art that yeah, it's not really pretty, but it conveys the idea a little bit. And I think that's the most important part about it. This boss I have notes of on paper. I have them on my desk, and I'm keeping those as a memory of the positive times of enjoying making this game, because I was really passionate about this one. And I already have a list of games that I want to make, but thanks to the lack of interest in this game, I sort of less stumbled my way into adapting on the spot. And now I'm making games that I'm not really standing behind, but at the same time also I'm really interested in. It's a little bit weird. The brown enemies were supposed to be arms that also act as cannons that shoot. So the brown enemies took a wild turn. The end result I like, but this idea still lingers in my mind because I didn't want to go fully human with the enemy designs. So I don't want to give them legs. On top of that, it was too chaotic and difficult to program which arm took priority in getting filled up with the brown 1 enemies, because the brown 1 enemies were supposed to be ammunition. But the concept of slamming and such in the spikes is the thing that took over, because the brown 4 was a guy that would climb in the background and such. And you can already see where issues start to pop up with that, with foreground and background elements and depth and such. It's a mechanic that was a little bit too out of hand. So designing the brown boss visually took the longest, because I couldn't get it right, and the end result was a little bit weird, but good enough, I suppose. Now the really good drawings start to come up, where I show my expertise as a drawing expert. The fun thing about these drawings is that they convey a lot of the basic ideas, because this game used to have survival elements such as cooking and mining and etc. So and you can already see how old this game is because of the implied meme on the right side. So it's really out of date already. So this is the best concept art. still makes me laugh. This is so bad. It's really bad, but I love it for that reason alone. I've grown so much since then, so it's good. I've become better. I've become better in drawing a little bit, not too much, but enough to say that things are going well. So this is Hector. This is the funny guy. This is also a funny guy. And here are the main gameplay mechanics, and where I already started to what you call it, cutting down rope and laying boundaries, you know. Because the game had multiple endings and randomized NPCs that could die, and you could loot their corpses and have a graveyard and, you know, all those kinds of stuff, sanity and such. Gameplay for the mechanics such as mining and stuff. And funnily enough, I will be using some of these ideas for my next game, so they're not going to waste more or less, but these ideas are also very simplistic, so it's alright, you know, for them not to be used. And you can see how some things are just cut out, because we have a blacksmith that, you know, makes necklaces, mining, crafting, meditating, transporting, gardening. It's not in the game, which is good. Make it a little bit streamlined, otherwise it's going into too much directions. You can see on the bottom right how light is in there, so that made it into the final game. These were the drafts of the white enemies. These should appear after the 5 kings, but I decided to not add them to the game because it was already too much. There was no reason to add them, really. But these enemies would have been added in the endless mode of the game, the more or less roguelite version, the arcade version of the game. But the extra content that I had planned for this game, I removed it. I mean, I never added it in the first place, and that's because of the lack of the interest of this game. So yeah, that's the concept art. The update log. There were more update logs in the demo version of the game, but these are the only two. The How It's Made page is going to link to a YouTube video on the game devlog on the first versions of the game, so that's cool. The credits, that's me, yippee. Yeah, so let's see what the game is right now. So we have basketballs, we have a cow, we have infinite of everything, So... And I really should be showing these things off. When there are enemies. But that would require me changing the game files and such. But now you get like a more or less idea how things would have looked like. Like everything is recolored because it's just tied to a slider. So yeah, so maybe I'm going to show some clips of this. Let me just check if I... do this as well, double game speed. So you can see the hitboxes of the attacks a little bit. But what I will do now is change some things. So let's see if this works. Because I don't know where I am in the game. Yeah. So this is with all the cheat codes enabled. So you can see the hitboxes. You can see the basketballs, you can see the tiny bars, you can see a little bit of everything. So this is very hectic. So, I hoped you enjoyed this playthrough. And yeah, I hope you will try out this game yourself, maybe one day. But I warn you, it's a difficult game. So yeah, that's it, I suppose. Yeah. So, thank you for watching this series. Thank you for supporting me. And if there's anything you want to know, about this game or have questions, leave them down below in the comments. And, you know, can talk to you and share some information about stuff. So that's it, really. I hopefully see you soon with something else. And I wish you have a nice day. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Yeah, thank you. And goodbye. This is a cool. It's cool that the music also goes fast.